Good morning. How are you guys doing? I know that it has been, oh my gosh, I think 2 or 3 months since I have filmed a video. Sort of just kind of got into a planner funk and had to kind of take a break and pull back. I participated in One Book July this year and went back to, what did I use first? I went to a bullet journal and used my Leuchtturm for a couple weeks, and then actually kind of migrated back into my Hobonichi, which is something that I had, and I've been in that ever since, and sort of just been figuring out how to use the system better and how to be more efficient with it. I know that I owe you guys a ton of videos. I have a homeschool video with my Erin Condren teacher planner that I think is filmed. I just have to edit it and get it put together, and I really apologize for that. I've had several people say they were really excited to see that video, and like I said, things got crazy busy. I had a little planner overwhelmed. June is always a really nuts month for our family, and just took a break. I just needed to take a break, and I'm back, and I'm really excited. I have missed filming, and I've missed playing with planners. I am going to be doing things a little bit different, but what I thought I would do first is kind of show you guys what I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to kind of talk about where I'm going to go from here and what I'm going to try with my what I'm going to try to do with my planner channel. So right now this is my iPhone. It is a XS Max, so a XS Max. I absolutely love this phone. I did get the new pop socket case from OtterBox that is built in, and it's awesome. I really like it a lot. So if you're thinking about getting one of these, it's great. My everyday carry system that my personal stuff is in are in these two books, and I was very lucky and got my hands on two hand-stitched leather tea covers from Tanya. They're very hard to get your hands on, but they are 100% worth it. I put out a feeler for anybody looking to sell their A5 because I was looking for a cover for my Hobonichi, and I also purchased a second for my Mega Weeks, which I ordered in this Hobonichi release September 1st through the 3rd. So I have a standard Hobonichi, just a regular Weeks in there right now, and as you can see, there's like a lot of extra space, but it does fit, it does work, it doesn't get all squished and weird, but I did order it for a Mega, and I'm waiting for that to get here. It'll start in 2020, so I'll probably finish out the year in this, but I am kind of excited. I've never seen a Weeks and a Mega in person at the same time, so I'm kind of excited to see how much bigger, because it must be a lot bigger than the regular one. But I'll start with this planner, but this is my A5 Hobonichi. The other thing I wanted to mention too is I found these pens. These are Muji, I think I'm saying that right, Muji pens. Let's see if I can get it to focus for you. And this is the 0.25, which you can see that on top, if I can get it to focus. Are we focusing? Ah, there we go. This is like my favorite pen that I think I've ever used. Right now, this is the one that I use the most in both of my Hobonichis. It's got a hexagon shape to the barrel, which I like because of the way I write. It's really comfortable for me. I use this, and then I also have a Signo, and I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a clicker pen that I carry in my purse, and that is a close second to this one. But this is one I recently discovered on Amazon, and I absolutely love it. I haven't checked Jet Pens to see if they carry it. It was just something that I found on Amazon, and I love it. So I wanted to mention that too. So let's get started with the planner stuff since I'm 4 minutes into the video. This is the Weeks, and the cover is from Tanya at Hand Stitched Leather Tea. I did put an elastic on this one. I'm usually not a fan of that. I like them on some of my chic sparrows, but I've been using a folio lately and I kind of enjoy not having an elastic. However, the purpose for this planner is errands, meal planning, you know, running to the grocery store, things like that. And I like the idea of being able to, you know, drop receipts or things in it and close it up, and then, you know, being able to not lose things. So what I'm doing with this, I do have a stencil in the front pocket. This is from Ink by Chang. It's built for the Leuchtturm, but I find that I'm able to use it in here. It's something I had and it fits in the pocket really nicely. In the front, the way that I had the configuration done, there are 3 pockets here. Then I have this big pocket here where I keep a week's notebook. This was something else I found on Amazon, but I also ordered some more on the Hobonichi site when I placed my order at the launch. This is a week's that I found off of Amazon. I did get it cheaper because it is a 2019 and we were in August maybe when I purchased it. So I love the cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. And there is a lot of room. This is my bookmark here, but there's not a ton of room, but there's a little bit of room. I've seen a lot of people put those jelly covers or clear covers on top. I may do that. The Mega Weeks that I ordered is in the shell pink, which I've heard looks almost white. My order shipped today, so hopefully I'll have that in the next few weeks. And I don't want it to get really gross, so I may put a jelly cover on it, but I'm not sure if it'll fit. It'd have to be a really tight fitting cover. But anyway, I do have that coming. So the way that I've been using this, I really don't use the months at all. What I have been doing is we were traveling this weekend. My son was gone this weekend. So I mark like big stuff like that, but I'm not using this for planning at all. I did think I may use it more as maybe for wellness. And I was thinking about trying to do this. Everybody always does those pixels for the year. So I was thinking that might be fun to try to do, but I don't know how the red and the gray will affect. So I don't know if that would make it a big deal or bad or not, but I don't know what I would use this for right now. I have no idea. But then I thought about maybe planning workouts or something in this. And then when you do the weeks, I'll see if I've got. So like what I did here, I draw the line here. There's dots to divide this into 3 columns. And this is the week. So I wrote down anything big that was going on that could affect dinner. So we had a soccer game, we were out of town, there was an open house, if there's any kind of change. Then on this side, I would write what the plan was. And then over here, I would do things like grocery lists. And then on this particular week, I had to go to the dance store for my daughters. So I wanted to list what we needed and what sizes I thought we needed, that kind of stuff. So I've done that there. And that's been working really, really well for me. I really like that. So I've been able to I've got some soccer ball icons and I've been using those up. These little gray icons from Planner, all of these are from Planner Kate, but the little gray mini icons mark when my husband's working. So this is this week. I can look and I knew exactly what was going on. I left a lot blank because we actually didn't have a lot going on this week. We have a lot of soccer, but not a lot of other things. So I've been marking that and that's been really helpful. And then on this side, I have, lists of what I needed when I went to the grocery store. I use my color code to mark. So for example, we need toilet paper, but we need toilet paper in the kids' bathroom downstairs or the kids' bathroom upstairs and the guest bathroom downstairs. So those are marked with those colors so that I know where that toilet paper needs to go when I get home. My battery just started blinking at me, so give me 1 second. Okay, super sorry that I had to take that break. I had to go through 3 batteries before I found one that was fully charged. So I'm not exactly sure where I left off, but I think I was talking about how I use this for meal planning. So what I've been doing is divide this column, the major things that could affect dinner time when we're eating, what the thoughts are on that side. And then I just use this and make a list. Sometimes I'll use my color code. I don't know if you can see that. So for example, our homeschool group meets on Mondays. Typically I cook lunch and bring it with us. So anything with a purple dot is meant for lunch. And I think I explained about the toilet paper. So I do that for toilet paper or things that I'm purchasing that need to go into a certain room and a certain space. If I left this blank, I would just be putting toilet paper everywhere, but my bathroom's fully stocked, so I don't need to buy as much toilet paper as I would. We are a family of 6. Sorry to be talking so much about toilet paper, but that was one of the things we needed to do this week. So this is what I will take to the grocery store. This is all I need to take. If I so desired, my plan is, it's just been a long time since I've had any of them. I'm gonna put all my shopping cards. Like I shop at Harris Teeter, I have a Food Lion card. What's the other one I have? Sam's card. Things like that. I could put those here, so if I know I'm running to those specific places, I have those cards in this book. And then I use the front pocket for stencils and things like that. The back pocket I have put cash in if I needed to take some cash, or if I was paying with, I haven't paid with a check in a really long time, but I did have an errand the other day and I had to drop off a payment for one of my kids' events, so I kept the check in the back. So that's how I'm using the week. Then what I decided to do back here in the back was I have a bookmark from Russell and Hazel, and I love these because they're pretty, they're metal, they don't get bent, they don't mess up, but I really enjoy that. And then what I did is, and I don't think I have anything embarrassing, I'm just checking real quick. So I made a list for all my kids, and I put their current sizes, I color coded it, I put the date, so like, I haven't done my husband's yet, but I put his name, and then I put the month, and then I made a column, and so those would be all the current sizes. This is for my son, my other son, my daughter. So I'm doing that. The back in the notes section, what I thought I would use that for is that is going to be for all things, you know, when I'm running errands. If I need to go shopping, I try when we do clothes shopping to only purchase what they actually need, and that's hard to remember when you're out running about. So that's kind of what I'm using this for, is I can make a list and say, okay, today when we go shopping, 2 kids need tennis shoes, 2 kids need church shoes, or whatever. And that's how I'm kind of using it. So far it's working really well. I've done the sizes for my kids. I also thought this might be a great place to put like Christmas gift ideas, you know, stuff like that. So I think that's how my plan is to use this. Or if I, you know, get an idea of something, I'm going to IKEA, I could put, because we are going to be redoing a couple rooms in our house with some new bookcases and stuff. I can put all the measurements in here. I can kind of sketch out what my idea is, that kind of thing. So far this has been really great, and it's just taken a section out of my main planner that I didn't need to carry with me all the time. So I really like that. The covers are amazing. This is in the light tobacco leather. I cannot wait to see how this thing ages. They smell amazing, and I'm really excited. Like I said, my Hobonichi order shipped today, so hopefully I'll get that at least in the next week or two, and I'm curious to see, you know, how much bigger. But it's working great. I love it. It's beautiful. There we go. This is my Hobonichi cousin in the A5. I've learned now Techo is A6. So this is the Hobonichi. I did place my first Hobonichi order at the launch in September. The other book that I'm planning on picking up, I was able to get the new notebooks. I got a new cousin for next year. I got a Mega Weeks for next year. I bought some of the little memo books, which are kind of like the little notebook that I have in here, like this, for the A5. What else did I get? I got a little bag that could hold the supplies that I use, so I can just kind of carry those around. I got the notebook, I got that. I got some pencil boards and I think that was it. I think that was everything that I got. So this is also a hand-stitched leather tea cover by Tanya. It is absolutely beautiful. She was so awesome to work with, and I'm just really, really grateful. I did find, though, by putting out a thing on Instagram that I was looking for one. I got a lot of responses. Unfortunately, most people that responded came back to me with they had an A6 or a B6 and I needed an A5. But this has been really great. I was able to find one. I did actually get to talk to Tanya, which was really nice. She's a really, really sweet lady, and she does impeccable work. So these are amazing covers. If you can get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. They're stiff but soft. The leather's soft, but it does hold its shape. They're amazing, absolutely amazing. So in this front pocket, I keep a couple sheets of paper from the Mini Happy Planner. I used a lot of those for note paper in my Inkwell press in the disc system. I love the paper, I love the grid. So I just decided to keep a couple sheets in the front pocket so that I always have like a scrap piece of paper if I need it real quick. And today I believe my Ollie clip is coming. I got inspired by, I believe she's the Pink Planner girl or Pink Planner, I'm not sure, can't remember. I know she's in the UK. And she always keeps an Ollie clip on the front, and she'll, you know, if she has a sticky note or something, or, you know, she wants to put something on the front, she'll just clip it to the front with the Ollie clip. And I was like, that is so cool. But I didn't have any big Ollie clips. All mine were the tiny ones. So I purchased a couple of big ones that I think are arriving today. And then I also pre-ordered a couple more because they were really cute. So that'll be going on here this afternoon, I'm hoping, but I'm very excited about it. When you open it up on the inside, it has, I believe the way Tanya refers to this is it's a card slot and a secretarial pocket here. And then there is another pocket, another piece of leather that the cover of my Hobonichi is in. So you've got two kind of pockets in the front if you really wanted to. In this front pocket, I keep a stencil, and I keep my Faye Creates canceled and rescheduled stickers because I use those all the time, and I just like to have those on me. I did order a Hobonichi stencil, which will fit in the Hobonichi, for the Hobonichi, from Jet Pens, and I think that arrives tomorrow. So I may switch those out, but the stencil for Ink by Jang has been working fine. I had some of those sticky pockets from the Target Dollar Spot, and I put those in the front and they're in the back, and that's where I put my sticky notes. I slide them in the pocket. They open on the side so that if they fall, they're falling into the planner. It just keeps them from getting messed up, keeps them from getting bent, and then I can kind of change them out and do some different things. Here is my favorite vinyl from Virgo and Paper. I went back actually, and I think I have 2 or 3 of these now that I'm going to hang on to. For the time being, Hobonichi is really working for me. It's simple and I'm loving it. And I love having that in the first thing that I see every time I open my planner. So I like that a lot. I was afraid to do it on the paper because the paper is the Tomoe River paper, and I just was afraid I was going to tear it up. So I did it on the front cover, and I love it. It's perfect. In the first, this is where I track my menstrual cycle, when I'm on my period. I don't really use this side. Now, my highlight section, this is called the Yearly Index in Hobonichi. I found a video, and I will link it below. Right now the name is escaping me, but I found this lady. I believe she is from Japan. I know she's an instructor or a professor of some sort, and she did a video on how to bullet journal in the Hobonichi. And this is, bullet journal terms would be the future log. It's where you could write down anything, birthdays and all that kind of stuff. But in Hobonichi, it's referred to as the Yearly Index. And she uses it just as that, as an index. She only uses the monthly and the weekly spreads, and the daily spreads are completely note paper for her. If you can wrap your head around that and not worry about the date being on the page, she simply uses the dates as page numbers, and that's what she does for her notes. once I kind of got my head wrapped around that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot more flexible than I'm thinking. So I've been using it the same way. I got this book, I started using it in July, and it was an April start. So, and I think I bought it in May or June. So I already had a couple months that weren't being used, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna go to waste. But by listening to what this lady said, I could just use them as straight up note pages, and that's what I've been doing, and I've been loving it. So up here, I write highlights, the top 3 things that happened in the month. This is all gonna be just straight up index. Currently, because I was using this in August and I was using this in September, or I am using this in September. So I had some church notes and I highlighted those. I took notes at open house. I highlighted that. I'm also using it to mark important things. A few weeks ago, my Uncle Jim passed away, and this was a place I could mark that and have it, where I don't have to flip through pages and figure out when that was. But if I go to that page, that is written in there, and the details about what happened with that, that I left and went to my friend's house, placed my Hobonichi order, traveling home. We got to go to the EC store in Virginia, which was amazing. I placed 2 orders for other planners that I'm going to be reviewing. So I keep all of that. Down here, what I do is I use past weekly spreads for brain dumps, lists, organization, things like that. I did a master schedule week so that I have that in there. I did a weekly template where I went in and I counted all the squares and I have everything marked so that if I want to do something, I can just flip to that page and know what number of squares I need to get to, things like that. I also did that for the month of April, and I just put that here. So these are the week numbers, and it'll tell me exactly where to go. So if I go back here, so for example, my pen test. So I just said these are all mild liners, these are all my Tombow twin tones, these are the drawing pens that I like to use, these are my EC dual tips, these are my favorite sticker shops. I'm gonna do a sampling of the Crayola Super Tips for my color code. These are stickers from Chrissy Ann Designs and Erin Condren that fulfill my color code. This is how I can mark things in my planner with my dots. But it was something I could use this page for. It wasn't being used otherwise. And I've also done some brain dump lists. I think it's this way. Like this is my master schedule. I did our chore schedule down here. So this was a day where I was working on AM routine, PM routine, my perfect day, what are my goals for 2020, our next house, current orders that I had out, things like that. So once I got the idea that I could do that, I realized that this book was a lot more flexible than I had initially realized, and I've been loving it. So first I'll go to a month. This is September. These are Midori brass tabs, and as you can see, there's a 9. And I had somebody tell me, well, when you close your book, your 9 is backwards. And that's true, it is. But most of the time, this is open on my desk, and I want it to face me the right way. So I just put a piece of washi tape on both sides of the tab, and then I can easily get the tab out at the end of the month. I only put the tab on the current month that I'm in. I use a little bit of washi tape. I use the dots. These are notes over here. I used the dots or gold icons to mark things that were happening. Yeah, that's really all I've been doing with it. This is how October is shaping up. And November, I've got my Thanksgiving break is marked in. You know, all I've got so far is some washi and then some penciled in things. Anything that goes forward, I write in pencil before I know for sure or that the month is actually here. I don't want to, be making a lot of changes. The next thing that I do, or the next thing I have in here is these are, I don't know what they're called. They're the new page markers from Erin Condren, and there's like 3 of this shape and 3 of a different shape. This shape is working for me so well. I have 2 in this book and 1 in my Stylogy notebook that I use for my church notes. And this is a great way to mark the day or mark the week. It's out of the way. It's heavy enough that I can find it easily, but I don't find that it's too much of a problem. And then what I do here is I mark everything that's happening for the week. I use stickers to mark game days. I go back in and I'll use some stickers for fun, but for the most part, it's pen and marker only. And I'm really digging that right now. It's very simple. These gray dots up here mark my husband's work schedule. I use icons from Who de Lally Day. She does a lot of gold foil stickers on clear sticker paper. So I really love using them in the Hobonichi. I can still see my grid. I can write around them. You know, we planned a date night here. This washi tape, my husband works nights and he has to drive home for about an hour. So I'm usually talking to him on the phone in the morning just so he stays awake and gets home safely. And so I just use a thin washi tape to denote that time so that I remember, hey, don't plan, or I've got to figure out a way to work it in so that I can do it. At the bottom, I just kind of draw lines after 11 o'clock. I have my laundry schedule, I have my kids' chore schedule, I have our food schedule, like our meal plan, food schedule, our meal plan down. I am really loving how this is working. I tried to do a tracker here and I just didn't like how it turned out. So I'm gonna do it this way. I like the idea of keeping it to 3 things and, you know, just working on 3 things at a time. I do have a purple swatch here because I still had a little bit of space. Those are for the days that we're doing school. So I just mark in this planner, hey, did we complete school today? Yes. Did we do some schoolwork? Yes. All of my specific lesson plans are in my Erin Condren teacher planner, but I did want to weigh in here to be able to just kind of check off, hey, did we get school done on Tuesday? Yes, we did. We normally school 4 days a week. We go to our co-op on Mondays and then we school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But Saturday is kind of our catch-up day if we need to take a test, or if somebody was sick on Tuesday and we did get a lot of work done, or something happened that caused us to not be at home like we normally are, then I would use it there. So anyway, loving this, loving having the weekly schedule. This is very important to me. With so many schedules, I need to see my week. But then when you go to the daily schedule, I'm going to turn to yesterday's because I haven't journaled in it yet. This is typically what the days look like. I had a lot going on yesterday morning, so I wrote a lot of things down. And this is where the bullet journaling comes into play. I try to keep all of my activities on this little side. I don't know if you can see, but in the Hobonichi, there's kind of a darker line right there. And this denotes your scheduling section. So what I put in here is how I used my time, what I did. These were the events that we have planned today. In this last column, my 16-year-old recently got his driver's license. So I will put a dot in navy blue for him, and mine's kind of a coral color. So who's driving where? So for example, this morning they had music lessons. He drove them, which allowed me to film this video. So I have in this last column, I just put a dot and it marks who goes where, when, and at what time. And that way I know I'm driving. This afternoon, my son will take himself to soccer and I will drive my daughter to her dance class. My husband had a medical conference today, so I highlighted over the numbers. I normally don't do that, but I did want to mark that he works tonight, so he's gonna have a really long night. He goes in about 5:30 and works overnight, but I wanted to mark he was not gonna be home today. Normally he would be home and he could have done some of the driving, or, you know, would have been around, but since he was working and not gonna be here, I figured I'm gonna get filming done today because he's not going to be here. So I hope that makes sense. At the top of the page, I like to put the weather. I get those from Planner Kate. And then I have some of these beautiful gold foiled icons. I have gold, rose gold, and silver. I have a mix of them. I love them. And what's really nice in this section is if I feel like using rose gold, I can use rose gold. If I want to mix them up, I can mix them up. It doesn't matter because there's no color scheme. So it doesn't matter. So that's what I do. I am really, really loving this. On the side over here, that's where the bullet journal comes into play. You're supposed to rapid log your ideas, appointments, to-do lists, tasks, things that come up. I do all of that on this side. And then down here at the bottom, I journal. I typically find that that's the perfect amount of space. I rarely use the entire thing. On days if I really needed it, I'll use it. But I'm really liking how this works. I can keep a track of my time here in general. I can keep notes here and I can journal here. It has me reflecting in my planner every night. It has me looking back over my weeks. So I'm doing a daily reflection, a weekly reflection. These are all bullet journal terms. And it's really working well for me, and I'm just loving it. So that's kind of how things are going. What I do is I will set pages up like this where I just put the colors for my color code for my activities. I draw the lines down the side. I do not fill this in. And the reason I do that is, for example, tonight I have a viewing party for our Essentials program, which is part of our homeschool group. And I won't need notes for that, and I know that, so I'm not worried about it right now. But let's say I was going and I wanted to take notes and something I was going to reference and keep. I could do notes here if that was the thing. So if I had a conference today and I was going to be, somewhere all day and I wanted to take notes, I could do that right here. Now in this particular journal or this particular Hobonichi, I have all these daily pages back here that I've not used. So I have a ton of note space if I want to use it. And I'm not really having to use my daily, but I could use my daily that way, and I'm really liking that flexibility. Then that's all that's left in the Hobonichi. It goes through March of next year. I go in and I'll put the icons down. I put gold icons at the top for major events of the day. If I don't have a major event, then there's no icon. And I'm really liking that a lot. So I've got that. Then at the back, there's some notes pages. Everything is in Japanese, so I don't know what any of it says. I'm pretty sure this would be my address and phone number and that kind of stuff. I have some sticky notes here. I put some more sticky pockets back here so that I had a few notes in the back. These are from some notes from a meeting I went to the other day. And one of the things I did with this, which I thought was really, really cool, is when I put it in the pocket, it will fit in this pocket and it will work. But I keep an extra Russell and Hazel clip back here. And I actually took the paperwork and I just clipped it onto this back cover piece, and that was absolutely perfect, so that when it was closed I saw it. I could easily flip to it and pull the pages out because I just had to do that. I think they would have fit okay, but they would have stuck out the top, and I was worried about knocking them out. This doesn't seem to move much. I've only had this cover for maybe a week. I do keep some Erin Condren stickers back here because I love to have the gold foil. I like it. And then I have some notes from a Kinley's Doodle box a couple months ago. And I keep all that back here. It's really worked. This actually can go back on my desk. I just haven't taken it out yet. But this is really working well for me. So my mom brain and my mom brain, shopping, groceries, all this, these are my daily. This is what I'm in every day. These are what I'm using all the time. So I'm just gonna take a couple minutes because I know I'm really close to 30 minutes, if not over at this point. What my plan is going forward, at least for right now, I'm not doing a lot of plan with me's because the way I'm planning in here, there's just not a lot to show you. I'm not using a lot of stickers. I'm just writing things down and doing it. If there's interest in that, please comment below, let me know, and maybe I'll figure out a way to film something that would be kind of interesting in that respect. But right now, I'm not really sure about this. However, with all the new planner releases that have been happening, I've been lucky enough to receive a few planners to review. I've purchased a few planners to review. I'm also on The Joy of Missing Out, which is Tanya Dalton's new book for Inkwell Press. I do have her new planner. I have the new disc planner inserts for the next year. I have that. I have a passion planner to review. I have cloth and paper inserts coming today, with the possibility of using my A5 or going back into my Louis and utilizing my A5. I have a Hobonichi order coming for 2020. I've got a review of the Penguin Planner coming up. I've got a review of the Christian Daily Planner coming up. Is that everything? I think that's everything. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of discussion about the bullet journal method, which was kind of what the One Book July was about this year. I've read Ryder Carroll's book. I've listened to it on audio. I think I'm going through it for the second time. It has really helped me streamline what I'm doing in here. And then this afternoon, fingers crossed, I'm going to pick up a content planner. It's a new to me planner, and it's all about, I guess, social media content, YouTube planning, things like that. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. I'll do a review of that as well. So for the next little bit of time, I think it's going to be a lot of planner reviews, talking about how I would use those planners, and how those could work with what I'm doing, and what are things you could do and how you could make it work for yourself. I will also be posting my homeschool planner, which is the Erin Condren Teacher Planner, and I use a deluxe monthly for finances. I won't be publishing that, but if you guys want to see what it looks like or what the new one looked like this year, let me know. They're been pretty much the same, but I'm happy to show like the months ahead. I bought it in, I think it's an academic, so I think it goes through next June. So I've got months I can show you what it looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am really sorry for how long it took me to get a video out, and I hope that seeing what I'm doing now helps you and see a different way to use the Hobonichis. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. Hopefully I can get this video up today or tomorrow, and we'll have the homeschool videos next on my docket because I have the video filmed already. I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.